Hello guys, my name's Cameron Benjamin and I'm Louisiana Creole. But I'm making this quick video because I see a very large misconception whenever it comes to this point in particular. The main reason why a lot of other foreign Creole speakers can understand Louisiana Creole so well is mainly because of the fact that Louisiana Creole is the closest French-based Creole language to French, because historically a lot of the people also spoke either Louisiana French, Cajun French, or any other French dialects mixed together and stuff of that matter. That's literally one of the main reasons why it didn't diverge quite that much from French compared to a lot of other creolized languages like Haitian Creole or Mauritian Creole, for example, since they were more isolated, while a lot of people, Creole speakers here lived right alongside of a French-speaking population, and were a part of that French-speaking population whenever it came to the vast majority of the historical speakers of the language. And yeah, it's just like I'd say whenever it comes to Haitian Creole, especially a lot of Haitians can understand, because a lot of Haitians also speak French. But even then, it's like that's literally the main reason, because like Louisiana Creole and Haitian Creole doesn't have many similarities, and the similarities that they do have is mainly through French and French influence and stuff of that matter. And I forgot what I was about to say, but it's just like, if you ever hear, like, especially like some Creole speakers, especially like in the Indian Ocean, for example, or other areas where they speak a French Creole, if they say they can understand, if they say that Louisiana Creole is just like their language, first of all, they're lying. They're lying. It would make more sense if someone from Quebec would say that Louisiana Creole sounded just like their language, or almost a lot like their language, compared to someone from Mauritius or Reunion Island, for example, because they're not the same language. They have the same origin, yes, but they're literally not the same language. Not to mention that a lot of the people that speak each different language are ethnically different in some extent. Because yes, there's the large base of like African mixed with French ancestry for like most of them. But in Louisiana, we also have Italians, Spaniards from Spain itself, the Canary Islands. We also have Germans. If you know about the German coast, you know what I'm talking about. Those people got annexed quickly, and my grandmother is actually descended from settlers from the German coast, since she's a Wilts. And yeah, not to mention that I'd say Louisiana Creoles are probably one of the most genetically diverse Creoles. Literally, like French descendant Creole people to some extent, compared to out of any of the other Creolized populations, like from former French colonies throughout the world. And plus, when it comes to Indian Ocean Creoles, they also have Indian ancestry, which makes them a lot different from us to begin with. But still, it just really makes me angry whenever a lot of people try to say that Louisiana Creole came from Haitian Creole just because Haitians came to Louisiana. Whenever the only dialect they ever influenced Louisiana Creole was literally the Orleans dialect in New Orleans. And not to mention the fact that literally half of the people that had went to New Orleans that were Haitians were literally white, or the French mulatto population. And they quickly, when I mean quickly got annexed, I mean quickly got annexed by the local Creole population in that area, because they already had a lot of stuff in common, and they were pretty much ethnically the same as well. So they were literally the same people in a sense, ethnically, but not necessarily nationally. But it didn't really matter, because they all ended up getting merged together anyways. And I'd say there weren't really many freed black Haitians, and a lot of the black Haitians that did, well, that influenced the language, but a lot of the black Haitians that did come literally got annexed by the local New Orleans population, or they went to other areas of the state and quickly got annexed as well. And anything that they had had anything to do with like literally any Haitian culture of the time, it literally quickly got annexed. So it's just like that's one thing I don't understand. They're literally not the same language. They're as far as can be from the same language. It's like that's one thing that I hate. Whenever it comes to the Western world nowadays, is that literally two similar cultures that end up diverging very differently during in time, or have like similar foods that arose around the same time, despite not having much contact with each other. You're going to always have people like literally trying to claim it as their own, just like how a lot of, if you know what the "We Was Kings" thing, the meme is, it's pretty much that, but much worse, but much worse. Because whenever it comes to the "We Was Kings" type people, we already acknowledge that those people are clones. But whenever it comes to people that don't really know much about French-based creolized cultures, and one culture start claiming BS that they created another culture, that's whenever problems start to arise, because a lot of people don't really know much about the topic to begin with, quite honestly. And yeah, that's pretty much that whenever it comes to that section. I'd say all French-based creolized cultures, all Latin-based creolized cultures, including Spanish-based creolized cultures, and Portuguese especially, because it's just wow. Like whenever it comes to those cultures in general, long live all of them. Quite honestly, long live all creolized cultures, because they're all beautiful. But I'd say the main thing we need to really defeat whenever it comes to the ignorance of it is literally somewhat younger people from certain creolized cultures and countries. If you came across these people online and you're a Louisiana Creole, you know exactly what I'm talking about, trying to claim other cultures as their own whenever they're people at little to no effect. And if they did, it ended up becoming very unnoticeable throughout time. It's just stop trying to claim other people's cultures. It's not cool. It's not going to get you anywhere, and it's just going to make you look stupid in the eyes of people that literally grew up speaking the language and grew up around the culture that can easily tell the difference of how people behave and act in their mannerisms in our culture compared to another one of those different cultures. But yes, guys, and plus not to mention that Louisiana Creole sounds quite, it's like a lot of people from Quebec, it's like I already mentioned that part with the Acadians and stuff, but a lot of people with Northern French can also understand Louisiana Creole better than a lot of people from other parts of France, was because the Acadians originally came from Northern France, including like Brittany as well. Not to mention that they also went to Quebec and stuff like that, and Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, and then a good majority of them ended up getting deported to the Louisiana Territory, to the majority of the current state of Louisiana, known at the time as Lower Louisiana, and St. Louis, Missouri. And yeah, there are Cajuns they're like descended from the first Cajuns to ever go there, but they're very, very low numbers compared to that in Louisiana. Not to mention the fact that I forgot what I was going to say. Not to mention the fact that a lot of modern Louisiana Creoles have literal Cajun ancestry or ancestry from Northern France to some extent. Not to mention that a lot of them also spoke dialects from Northern France. Not to mention that literally the main French dialects in general to ever really influence Louisiana was, you guessed it, Northern France. So it's just like, yeah. But yeah, man, it was good to rant, to talk and stuff like that. And I'm sorry if I didn't quite elaborate, but bonsoir, guys. Goodbye. And Cameron Benjamin, the St. Martin Parish, Louisiana Creole, signing out. Peace.